Wealth isn't inherited by most people, it's built, brick by brick, habit by habit. Starting from zero can feel overwhelming. You may have no savings, no support, no safety net. But what you do have is potential, time, and the ability to change your future with discipline and consistency. Building wealth from nothing is not about luck or shortcuts. It's about strategy, mindset, and execution. It begins with you deciding that where you are now is not where you're going to stay. Wealth begins with self-awareness and financial clarity. You cannot build something strong on a foundation that is unclear or unstable. Many people want to be rich, but they have no idea where they currently stand financially. They don't know how much they earn, how much they spend, where their money goes, or what's holding them back. They operate in financial blindness, hoping things will magically get better. But the truth is, nothing changes until you see it clearly. You can't fix what you don't understand. And that's why wealth creation must begin with self-awareness and financial clarity. Start by sitting down with yourself and looking at your real financial picture. Not the one you hope for or pretend to have, but the actual numbers. How much money do you make each month? List it down honestly. Your salary, freelance income, business profits, side hustle money, or anything else. Then write down all your expenses: rent, food, bills, transportation, subscriptions, entertainment, loans, even the smallest spending like snacks or impulse purchases. When you see the full picture in front of you, without excuses or denial, you begin to wake up to your reality. This moment might feel uncomfortable, especially if the numbers don't look good, but it is the most powerful starting point for anyone serious about building wealth from zero. Most people never become wealthy because they never look at their money honestly. They avoid checking their bank balance. They make purchases based on emotion, not logic. They live paycheck to paycheck, hoping the next one will somehow be enough. But hope is not a strategy. You need clarity. You need to know exactly where you stand, so you can decide where to go next. Financial clarity gives you control, and control leads to progress. Once you have a clear view of your finances, you can begin to identify the leaks. You'll see where your money is being wasted, where you're overspending, and what habits are draining your future. Maybe you're spending too much on eating out, or buying things to impress people who don't even care. Maybe you're emotionally spending to escape boredom, stress, or insecurity. Whatever the case is, self-awareness will expose it. And once it's exposed, you can begin to take action. This is not about shame or guilt. It's about power. When you become aware of your money patterns, you can start changing them. You can set boundaries. You can start saying no to things that don't support your goals. You can begin living below your means, not because you're broke, but because you're building something bigger. That's the mindset shift that separates wealth builders from everyone else. Clarity also helps you set realistic goals. When you know where you are, you can map out where you want to go. Do you want to save your first $100,000, pay off debt, build an emergency fund, start investing? All these goals become more achievable when you work from a place of truth, not fantasy. You stop guessing and you start planning. You stop reacting and you start creating. Financial clarity turns chaos into structure. Self-awareness also includes understanding your emotional relationship with money. Ask yourself, how do I feel about money? Do I fear it? Do I feel guilty having it? Do I believe I can become wealthy? Or do I think it's only for others? Your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. If you think money is evil, you'll push it away. If you think you don't deserve it, you'll sabotage yourself. But if you believe money is a tool to build freedom, help others, and improve your life, then you'll start attracting it through the right actions. Understanding your money mindset is just as important as understanding your numbers. Because even if you earn more, a poor mindset will keep you poor. Many people increase their income but still stay broke because they never change their internal programming. They still spend emotionally, avoid saving, or chase status instead of stability. Real wealth comes from within. It's not just about how much you have, it's about how you think, how you manage, and how you grow it. To build wealth from zero, you need to operate like a financially aware person even before you have a lot of money. Start managing your small income like it matters. Track it, respect it, be intentional. Even if you're earning very little, clarity gives you an advantage. It helps you avoid debt. It helps you spot opportunities. It helps you stay focused. When others are distracted, you build strong financial muscles early, so that when you earn more, you're ready to handle it with wisdom. The truth is, many people stay poor not because they lack money, but because they lack awareness. They let life happen to them. They follow the crowd. They chase trends. They think being busy means being productive, and spending means happiness. But once you become aware, you start making decisions that are different. You begin to delay gratification. You start creating a gap between your income and your expenses. You stop spending like a consumer and start thinking like an investor. All of this comes from clarity. Clarity also reduces stress. When you know what's going on with your money, you don't live in fear. You stop feeling overwhelmed every time a bill arrives. You sleep better knowing you're in control, even if you're starting small. Peace of mind comes from planning, not perfection. And the earlier you get clear, the more powerful your financial journey becomes. Building wealth from zero is not about having money handed to you. It's about becoming the kind of person who manages money well. No matter how little or how much, self-awareness and clarity are the foundation. If you ignore them, you'll keep repeating the same cycles. But if you embrace them, everything changes. You start making better choices. You become intentional. You start building momentum. And over time, those small, consistent actions compound into something powerful. So if you're starting from nothing, don't be discouraged. Start with clarity. Start by knowing. Start by tracking. Start by owning your situation fully. Because that simple act of awareness is the first real step toward freedom, independence, and long-term wealth. Control your spending before you try to increase your income. It sounds simple, but this single principle can mean the difference between financial success and lifelong struggle. When people think about building wealth, they often focus on earning more money. They chase higher salaries, look for new jobs, start side businesses, and explore countless ways to boost their income. But what they often overlook is their current relationship with money, specifically how they spend it. Because if you can't manage the money you already have, having more will only magnify the problem. The truth is, many people don't have an income problem, they have a spending problem. They earn enough, but they waste it through poor habits, emotional purchases, and undisciplined decisions. You could double your income tomorrow, but if your spending doubles with it, your financial situation won't change. That's why controlling your spending must come before trying to increase your income. It creates the right foundation for wealth building. Without control, more money just becomes more opportunity to waste. When you control your spending, you begin to take charge of your future. You stop being reactive and start becoming intentional. You begin to decide where your money goes instead of wondering where it went. This is the moment you step out of the survival cycle and start building. And it all begins with asking the hard questions. Do I really need this? Is this spending helping me move closer to my goals, or is it pulling me further away? Why am I buying this necessity, boredom, insecurity, or impulse? Most people spend money to feel something: comfort, joy, validation, relief. But emotional spending is one of the biggest traps keeping people stuck. It offers a short-term high but leads to long-term regret. You buy something unnecessary to feel better, and then you feel worse when your account is empty. This cycle keeps repeating until you become aware and decide to break it. Controlling your spending isn't about depriving yourself, it's about choosing wisely, so that you can have real freedom later. Start by creating a simple budget. It doesn't need to be complex. Just write down how much you earn each month and how much you spend. Then break your expenses into categories: fixed costs like rent and bills, variable costs like groceries and fuel, and discretionary spending like eating out, shopping, or subscriptions. Once you see everything in one place, you'll realize how much of your money is going to things that don't truly matter. Cut ruthlessly. If it's not essential, pause it. You don't need to cancel every joy from your life, but you do need to sacrifice temporarily to gain long-term control. Ask yourself, what can I live without for the next 6 months? What luxuries am I funding while claiming I'm broke? What habits are keeping me from building a safety net? You'd be surprised how quickly money adds up when you cut unnecessary expenses and focus on what really counts. Another key part of spending control is redefining what wealth looks like. Many people confuse wealth with looking rich. They think expensive clothes, fancy gadgets, and luxury lifestyles are signs of success. But true wealth is silent. It's in your savings, investments, and financial peace. It's being able to handle emergencies, retire early, or pursue passions without financial fear. When you stop spending to impress others, you start building real wealth for yourself. Delayed gratification is your greatest ally. The ability to say no now so you can say yes later is what sets wealth builders apart from consumers. It means you're willing to drive an older car while others chase car loans. It means you'll cook at home while others eat out every night. It means you'll wear the same outfit more than once while others waste money to stay on trend. These small sacrifices compound into financial strength over time. When you master spending control, you also reduce stress. One of the biggest causes of anxiety is financial uncertainty. When you don't know how much you're spending or how much you have left, you live in fear of the next bill, the next crisis, the next unexpected cost. But when your spending is under control, you can breathe. You know where every rupee is going. You have margin. You can save. You can plan. You're not living on the edge anymore. You're living with purpose. Controlling spending also prepares you for growth. It trains your mindset to be disciplined, focused, and long-term oriented. These qualities are essential when you do start increasing your income, because more money will not fix bad habits, it will amplify them. If you're careless with 10,000, you'll be reckless with 100,000. But if you're disciplined with 10,000, you'll multiply 100,000. You'll know how to save, invest, and manage with wisdom instead of emotion. When you finally increase your income, and you will if you stay consistent, you'll be ready to use it wisely. You won't fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation, where your expenses rise with your earnings. Instead, you'll keep your lifestyle simple while using the extra income to build assets, pay off debts, and create freedom. This is how people go from surviving to thriving, from paycheck to financial independence. And it all starts with spending control. It's easy to blame low income for financial struggle, but many people earning average or even below average incomes have built wealth by mastering the basics. They live below their means. They avoid debt. They save consistently. They make smart choices, even when it's hard. This is proof that it's not how much you earn, it's what you do with what you have. Income matters, but behavior matters more. If you're starting from zero, your power lies in how you manage your current money. Before you chase bigger paychecks or business ideas, first ask, am I managing my current income with excellence? If not, more money won't help. But if you learn to master your spending now, every rupee you earn in the future will work harder for you. You'll build with a strong foundation. And that's how real wealth begins. Discipline today creates options tomorrow. By controlling your spending before increasing your income, you are preparing yourself for growth. You are laying the groundwork for financial stability, freedom, and abundance. You are choosing clarity over chaos, intention over impulse, and future over momentary satisfaction. That decision, made again and again, is what builds lasting wealth. Build the habit of saving, even if the amount is small. This single practice has the power to shift your entire financial future. Many people believe they need a lot of money before they can start saving, but that belief is exactly what keeps them stuck. Wealth is not built by waiting until you're ready, it's built by starting with what you have. The habit is more important than the amount. If you can't save 10 rupees from 100, you won't magically start saving 1,000 from 10,000. The discipline of saving must be developed when you have little, so it becomes second nature when you have more. Saving money is not about luck or income level. It's about consistency and mindset. When you save regularly, even in small amounts, you're sending a signal to your brain that you are serious about your future. You are telling yourself that you matter, your goals matter, and your financial well-being is worth protecting. You're also building emotional strength by saying no to short-term temptations in order to say yes to long-term security. This habit creates a strong foundation for everything else: investing, building assets, starting a business, or handling emergencies. Without savings, every financial step becomes risky and stressful. Most people wait for the perfect time to start saving. They think they'll start next month or when the next raise comes. But the perfect time never arrives. There's always a bill, a wedding, a crisis, or a festival. Life will always give you reasons to delay saving. That's why you need to do it anyway, even if it's just 50 rupees a day or 500 a month. The key is to begin. Start small, but start now. The amount may seem insignificant, but it's not about the money, it's about the muscle you're building. Saving builds a buffer between you and financial panic. Life is unpredictable. A job can be lost, a medical emergency can arise, a vehicle can break down. If you don't have savings, you are constantly one step away from crisis. You are always vulnerable, always stressed. But when you have even a small cushion, your life changes. You can breathe, you can think clearly. You're no longer making decisions out of desperation. This peace of mind is priceless, and it's earned through the habit of saving. To make saving a real habit, automate it if possible. Treat it like a non-negotiable expense. Just like you pay rent, pay yourself. Set up a system where a small amount is transferred to a separate account the moment you receive income. Don't wait until the end of the month to save what's left, because most of the time, nothing will be left. Pay yourself first, even if it's 10%, 5%, or 1% of your income. Do it with commitment. Over time, this will become normal, just like brushing your teeth or locking your door before leaving the house. Another way to strengthen the saving habit is to create a clear goal. Saving without purpose often leads to giving up. But when you save for something meaningful, an emergency fund, a debt-free future, a down payment, an investment, or even peace of mind, you stay motivated. Visualize what your savings will do for you. Imagine a life where you are not controlled by every expense or emergency. Imagine being able to help your family, travel without debt, or start your own business. These dreams start with small, consistent savings. Many people believe they need to sacrifice joy to save. But the truth is, saving does not mean depriving yourself. It means choosing wisely. It means understanding that not all pleasures are worth the price. It's about deciding that your long-term peace is more valuable than a temporary thrill. When you shift your mindset in this way, saving becomes empowering instead of painful. You're not giving up, you're leveling up. Track your progress. Celebrate small milestones. When you save your first 1,000, take a moment to acknowledge it. That money represents discipline, sacrifice, and effort. Let that success fuel your confidence. Then set a new target. Maybe your next goal is 5,000, then 10,000, and so on. These small victories keep the momentum alive and remind you that you are capable of growth. Wealth is not built overnight, it's built in tiny, repeated wins. Another powerful benefit of saving is that it gives you options. When you have money saved, you don't have to accept every offer or tolerate every toxic job. You have the freedom to say no, to walk away, to wait for better. Savings give you time, space, and power. They protect your dignity and allow you to make decisions based on value, not urgency. This is what real wealth feels like, not flashy, but strong. If you find it hard to save, examine your habits. Are you spending without tracking? Are you making impulse purchases? Are you trying to impress others with your lifestyle? Often, our inability to save comes from trying to live a life that doesn't match our income. Be honest with yourself. Choose simplicity over status. Choose progress over appearances. Every rupee saved is a seed planted, and the more seeds you plant, the more your future can grow. Surround yourself with people who support your savings mindset. If everyone around you is constantly spending, partying, or showing off, it becomes harder to stay disciplined. Find people who talk about goals, investments, and discipline. Read books, listen to financial podcasts, and stay inspired. Saving becomes easier when your environment supports your goals. Don't be discouraged by how small your savings may seem at first. What matters is that you're moving in the right direction. Over time, small amounts grow. The habit becomes stronger, and one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come, not because you made a fortune overnight, but because you made one wise decision again and again. You built the habit of saving, even when it wasn't easy, and that habit laid the foundation for every other financial victory. Building wealth from zero is possible for anyone, but it starts with this simple powerful step, saving something, no matter how small. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence. Do it every day, every week, every month. Let it become who you are, a saver, a planner, a builder. Because those who respect money even in its smallest form are the ones who eventually attract, manage, and multiply it. Increase your income by learning valuable, in-demand skills. This is one of the most powerful strategies you can apply when building wealth from zero. When you have no money, no assets, and no financial support, your skills become your currency. What you know and what you can do with that knowledge determines how much you earn. The job market rewards those who solve problems, create value, and bring useful abilities to the table. If you want to earn more, you must become more valuable. The world is changing rapidly, and with it, the nature of opportunity. Gone are the days when only degrees guaranteed high-paying jobs. Today, skills matter more than titles. Employers, clients, and customers don't care about your background as much as they care about your ability to deliver results. This shift has created a new kind of economy, one where anyone, regardless of their past, can rise by mastering relevant skills. You don't need to be a genius. You need to be committed. You need to be consistent. You need to be willing to learn. Start by identifying which skills are currently in high demand. Look at what businesses are hiring for, what freelancers are offering, what creators are doing, and what services people are paying for. Skills like digital marketing, graphic design, copywriting, video editing, social media management, coding, web development, public speaking, financial planning, and sales are always in demand. These are skills that help businesses grow, solve problems, and reach customers. If you learn them, you will always be needed. Pick one skill to begin with. Don't try to learn everything at once. Focus is power. Choose something that interests you, that fits your strengths, and that has clear demand in the market. Then commit to learning it deeply. Use free and affordable resources like YouTube, online courses, books, and practice platforms. There is no excuse in the digital age to remain unskilled. The information is out there. What's missing for most people is the discipline to study consistently and the courage to start. Practice daily. Don't just consume information, apply it. If you're learning graphic design, start creating sample designs. If you're learning copywriting, start writing ads, headlines, and sales pages. If you're learning video editing, make short clips using free software. The more you practice, the better you become. And as your skill improves, so does your confidence. Eventually, your work becomes strong enough to show to others. And that's when opportunities start coming. Start small. Offer your services for a low price, or even for free in exchange for testimonials and experience. Build a portfolio. Get feedback. Learn from your mistakes. Don't chase perfection, chase progress. With every project, you improve. With every client, you learn. With every hour spent building your craft, you move closer to financial freedom. And soon, you reach a point where people begin to recognize your value and pay you accordingly. Your goal is not just to learn a skill, but to become excellent at it. Excellence attracts income. The better you get, the more you can charge. When you're average, people compare you on price. When you're great, people pay for quality. That's how you escape low-income traps. You position yourself as someone who delivers results, not just someone who does tasks. And that difference increases your income. Once you've mastered one skill and built income from it, you can either increase your rates, scale your services, or start learning a second complementary skill. For example, if you're good at writing, learn how to market your writing. If you're good at design, learn how to brand. This combination of skills multiplies your value in the marketplace. It gives you flexibility and leverage. You're no longer dependent on one stream. You become a full solution provider. In-demand skills don't just help you earn, they also help you grow. They teach you problem solving, creativity, time management, and communication. They build character and discipline. They open your mind to opportunities that others miss, and they make you resilient. Even if you lose a job or a client, your skills stay with you. You carry them wherever you go, and you can rebuild anytime. That's real security. Learning new skills also boosts your network. As you grow in your field, You connect with others who are ahead of you. You enter communities, get mentorship, receive feedback, and find collaborators. These connections often lead to new opportunities, partnerships, and referrals. The more people see your talent, the more your name gets recommended, your reputation grows, and with it, your income potential. Don't underestimate how fast your life can change when you commit to learning something valuable. In 3 months, you can go from knowing nothing to earning your first payment. In 6 months, you can be making consistent income. In 1 year, you can replace your job or double your earnings. But it all depends on your effort, focus, and persistence. It's not easy, but it's absolutely possible. And the best part is, you're in control. You don't have to wait for permission. You can start learning today. Avoid the trap of always consuming and never executing. Too many people watch tutorials, read books, and take courses, but never apply anything. Knowledge without action is wasted. If you want results, you must practice more than you study. Do the hard, boring, repetitive work of mastering your craft. That's how you build real confidence. That's how you prove your value. That's how you get paid. Once your skill starts generating income, reinvest part of that money into improving it further. Buy better tools, take advanced courses, attend workshops or events, hire mentors or coaches. The more you invest in yourself, the more you grow. This cycle of learning, earning, and reinvesting is what leads to exponential wealth creation. You're not just working for money, you're building a future. If you're starting from zero, your skill set is your ladder out. No one can take your skills from you. They are your personal assets. The more useful you become, the more income flows your way. And unlike money, which can be lost or spent, skills appreciate over time. They increase your earning power, give you independence, and create limitless opportunities. Building wealth from zero requires more than just saving, it requires earning. And earning more begins with learning more. Focus on becoming a person who solves problems, creates value, and delivers excellence. Learn a skill that the world needs. Then become so good they can't ignore you. That's the path to wealth. It starts with one skill, one choice, one step, and from there, everything changes. Use your free time to build side hustles and income streams. When you're starting from zero, your time becomes your most valuable currency. You may not have money to invest, but you have hours that can be redirected towards something productive, something that plants seeds for future growth. Most people waste their evenings and weekends on entertainment, distractions, and habits that bring no long-term benefit. But those same hours, if used intentionally, can become the foundation of wealth. Side hustles are not just about earning a little extra money, they are a mindset shift. They train you to think like a creator, not just a consumer. Instead of waiting for a paycheck, you begin to generate income with your own skills, ideas, and effort. You start understanding what people are willing to pay for, how the market works, and how to position yourself in it. This knowledge is priceless, and it compounds with time and consistency. The key to starting a side hustle is not perfection, it's action. Don't wait until you know everything. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start with what you know, what you have, and what people around you might need. Look around your community, your workplace, or your online networks. Is there something you can offer that solves a problem, saves time, or brings value? It could be something as simple as tutoring, freelancing, writing, designing, selling homemade products, offering delivery services, or reselling items online. If you're good at explaining things, consider teaching or tutoring. If you're creative, try graphic design, content creation, or photography. If you're detail-oriented, offer virtual assistant services or data entry. If you enjoy talking, start a YouTube channel or podcast. If you're hands-on, offer repair services, painting, or home maintenance. The options are endless. You just need to choose something, start small, and grow from there. The beauty of side hustles is that they can be started part-time, without quitting your job or risking everything. Use the hours after work or on weekends. Instead of scrolling for hours on social media or binge-watching shows, set aside 2 to 3 hours daily to build something. The small sacrifice can change your financial future. Many successful businesses today started as side hustles in a bedroom, garage, or coffee shop. The difference was not resources, it was dedication. As you earn from your side hustle, even if it's a little at first, reinvest it. Buy better tools, upgrade your skills, improve your branding, or expand your reach. Don't waste the extra income on unnecessary luxuries. Let your side hustle feed itself until it grows strong. Your first goal should be consistency, not profit. Once you have a consistent flow, you can optimize and scale. Eventually, a side hustle can grow into a second income stream. And once you have two sources of income, your job and your side hustle, you gain flexibility and power. You can save more, invest more, or reduce financial stress. You're no longer entirely dependent on one paycheck. This is how real wealth begins to form, not through one big leap, but through smart, steady building. The idea of multiple income streams is not just for millionaires, it's a principle for anyone who wants financial security. Depending on one source of income is like balancing your life on a single leg. If it fails, everything collapses. But when you have multiple streams, you create safety and options. One stream can cover your basics, another can fund your investments, and a third can go into savings or passion projects. It gives you breathing space, decision-making power, and resilience. Use your free time to experiment, learn, and take small risks. Not every hustle will succeed, but every attempt will teach you something valuable. You'll learn about pricing, communication, negotiation, marketing, time management, and client handling. These lessons make you smarter, sharper, and more prepared for bigger opportunities. You begin to think like an entrepreneur, even if you don't yet consider yourself one. The early stages of a side hustle may not look glamorous. You might be working after everyone else is asleep, handling multiple tasks, or facing slow growth. But that's normal. It's a test of your patience and commitment. Everyone wants quick results, but wealth built fast is often lost fast. What you build slowly, with care and effort, tends to last. Let your side hustle be your training ground, where you grow in skill, confidence, and character. Don't let excuses steal your future. Many people say they don't have time, but they spend hours every week on things that don't serve their goals. Audit your schedule honestly. Identify the time blocks you can repurpose. Even 15 to 30 minutes a day can lead to major progress over months. The compound effect of small daily action is extraordinary. Consistency beats intensity. Also, don't worry about what others will think. Some people might laugh at your hustle. In the beginning, they may not understand why you're working extra hours, selling online, creating videos, or offering services. But those same people will be amazed when your results begin to show. Focus on your vision, not their opinions. Most people mock what they're afraid to try. If your side hustle begins generating steady income, consider turning it into a business. Register it legally, build a brand, and expand your client base. This can become your pathway to full-time self-employment or passive income. But again, it all starts with using your free time wisely, making small efforts daily, and refusing to quit when progress feels slow. As you grow your side hustle, consider building passive income streams too. These are sources that continue to earn even when you're not actively working, like selling digital products, writing a book, creating online courses, affiliate marketing, or renting property. Passive income requires upfront effort, but once it's set up, it gives you freedom. Combine active hustles with passive streams, and you create a financial machine that works for you, not just because of you. The goal of using your free time for income generation is not just about money. It's about freedom, growth, and control over your future. It's about refusing to settle for a life of paycheck dependency and constant stress. It's about proving to yourself that you can build, create, and rise no matter where you started. Building wealth from zero is not impossible, but it demands effort, consistency, and smart use of your time. Every hour wasted is an opportunity lost, but every hour used wisely is an investment in your future. So take your evenings and weekends seriously. Use them to build something you're proud of, something that grows, something that pays, and one day, your side hustle will no longer be a side story. It will be the foundation of your financial independence. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Grow your savings, not your expenses. This is one of the most critical principles in the journey of building wealth from zero. Most people work hard to increase their income, and when that increase comes, they instantly upgrade their lifestyle. They buy a newer phone, move into a more expensive home, eat out more often, buy clothes they don't need, or take vacations they can't afford. This is the trap of lifestyle inflation. It feels like progress because everything looks better on the outside, but financially, the person is still stuck in the same cycle. Their expenses rise just as fast as, or even faster than, their income, leaving them with no real savings, no investments, and no financial cushion. When you avoid lifestyle inflation, you choose to let your income grow without letting your spending grow with it. Instead of using a raise or bonus to increase your monthly costs, you use that extra money to increase your savings rate. You save more, invest more, pay off debt faster, and move closer to financial independence. This decision separates those who appear rich from those who are actually wealthy. Real wealth is not visible. It's in your bank accounts, in your investments, in your peace of mind. It doesn't need to be shown off because it's solid. If you're starting from zero, this principle becomes even more powerful. You have a chance to build the right habits early. The temptation to upgrade will be strong once you begin to earn more. You'll feel like rewarding yourself. And yes, it's okay to celebrate progress, but it has to be done wisely. A small treat is fine, but turning every income increase into a permanent expense is dangerous, because once your lifestyle rises, it's hard to bring it back down. You get used to comforts quickly, and what once felt like a luxury becomes a necessity. This traps you in a cycle of earning just to maintain your lifestyle, instead of using your income to create freedom. The discipline to maintain a modest lifestyle, even as your income grows, is one of the defining traits of self-made wealthy individuals. They understand that the extra income is an opportunity, not a license to spend more. They see it as a tool to build faster, to invest smarter, to reach their goals sooner. And that mindset comes from a deep understanding of money, not as a way to impress others, but as a way to secure your future. One of the best ways to avoid lifestyle inflation is to set financial goals and link your income increases directly to those goals. For example, if you get a raise, decide in advance that 70% of it will go towards savings or investments. Only 30%, if any, should go toward increasing your lifestyle. This way, you're rewarding yourself in a controlled way while still making serious financial progress. It keeps you grounded and focused. Another strategy is to automate your savings. The moment your income comes in, have a portion automatically transferred to a separate savings or investment account. This prevents you from feeling like that money is available to spend. You don't miss what you don't see. This habit helps protect your financial progress from impulsive decisions or emotional spending. It's also helpful to regularly review your lifestyle. Ask yourself what expenses are truly necessary and what are just habits formed through convenience or peer pressure. Many people pay for things every month that they don't use, don't need, or don't even enjoy. Subscriptions, memberships, eating out without purpose, random shopping trips, all these add up over time. Trimming these expenses doesn't mean you're being cheap. It means you're being strategic. Every rupee not spent unnecessarily is a rupee that can grow your future. Understand that most people fall into the trap of trying to look successful. Instead of becoming successful, they chase symbols of wealth, expensive clothes, the latest phones, luxury cars, not realizing that these symbols are often the reason they remain financially fragile. True wealth is quiet. It's built through habits like saving, investing, and living below your means. The person driving the oldest car might have the biggest bank balance. The person wearing simple clothes might own multiple properties. That's because they chose substance over appearance. If you want long-term financial freedom, you must develop the ability to delay gratification. You have to resist the urge to spend just because you can. Not everything affordable is worth buying. Ask yourself, will this expense bring long-term value or just short-term pleasure? Will it make my life better or just more complicated? Will it bring me closer to financial independence or further away? These questions help you stay aligned with your deeper goals. Avoiding lifestyle inflation doesn't mean living a miserable life. It means choosing intentional spending. Spend on what matters to you. not what society says you should care about. If travel brings you joy, save and travel wisely. If family is your priority, invest in their well-being. But don't spend to impress people who don't care or to fill emotional gaps that money can never fix. Your spending should reflect your values, not your insecurities. The journey to wealth is not just about increasing income, it's about keeping more of what you earn and using it wisely. Many high-income earners are broke because they never learned this. They bought into the lie that more money means more spending. But financial freedom doesn't come from how much you earn. It comes from how much you keep and how well you use it. If you can control your lifestyle when you have little, it becomes second nature when you have more. And that's the secret. The people who build real wealth aren't waiting for the perfect income. They're maximizing every level. They're saving when it's hard. They're investing when it's uncomfortable. They're saying no to things they can technically afford because they know the bigger vision. And that's what makes the difference. Your income is a tool. It can be used to build your dreams or to maintain a lifestyle that keeps you stuck. The choice is yours every time your income increases. Pause and ask yourself, will I use this to grow or just to glow? Will I buy more liabilities or build more assets? These small decisions, repeated over time, shape your financial destiny. Building wealth from zero is a mindset. It's not just about earning more, it's about thinking smarter, acting wiser, and staying focused. Avoiding lifestyle inflation is one of the strongest moves you can make. It puts you in control. It gives you options. And most importantly, it keeps you on the path to true, lasting financial freedom. Learn to invest early and consistently for long-term growth. When starting from zero, it's easy to believe that investing is only for the wealthy. This is a dangerous myth that keeps many people stuck in survival mode while others use time and consistency to quietly build their fortunes. The truth is, investing is not a luxury for the rich, it's a necessity for those who want to stop living paycheck to paycheck. It's not about how much you invest, it's about how early you start and how consistently you continue, no matter how small the amount may be. The power of investing lies in compound growth. When you invest money and allow it to grow over time, the returns begin to generate their own returns. The snowball effect can transform even modest investments into significant wealth. If given enough time, starting early gives your money more time to grow. Waiting until you feel ready or until you earn more often leads to lost years and missed opportunities. Every year you delay investing, you lose the power of compound interest that could have worked in your favor. You don't need thousands to start investing. You need discipline, patience, and the willingness to learn. Start with whatever you can afford, even if it's just a few hundred rupees a month. There are low-barrier options today that allow beginners to invest with small amounts. The most important thing is to begin. Waiting for the perfect moment usually means never starting at all. The habit of investing is far more powerful than the size of your initial investment. When you invest consistently, you take advantage of something called rupee cost averaging. This means you invest the same amount regularly, regardless of market conditions. Sometimes you'll buy when prices are high, other times when they're low. But over time, this strategy smooths out the ups and downs. It removes the emotion and guessing from the process. You're not trying to time the market, you're letting time work for you. This reduces risk and keeps you focused on the long term. Investing is not gambling. It's not about luck or guessing which stock will explode. It's about building ownership in things that grow over time, like businesses, real estate, and economies. When you invest in stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, or other long-term vehicles, you are becoming part owner of companies that are solving problems, creating value, and growing year after year. As these businesses succeed, so does your money. That's how wealth is created, steadily, not suddenly. Education is essential when it comes to investing. You don't need to be an expert, but you must understand the basics. Learn how the stock market works, what compound interest means, how to read simple financial statements, and how different investment vehicles function. There are countless free resources, videos, podcasts, books, and websites that can teach you the fundamentals. Knowledge reduces fear. The more you learn, the more confident you become in making smart financial decisions. Avoid trying to get rich quickly through risky schemes or trends. Many people lose money chasing what's popular or promising unrealistic returns. Real investing is boring. It's consistent, disciplined, and focused on the long term. It requires you to ignore noise, market panic, and get-rich-quick temptations. Instead of looking for the next big thing, build a strong portfolio based on diversified, time-tested strategies. Patience is your best friend in this process. As your income grows, increase your investment contributions. Don't let lifestyle inflation eat up your financial gains. If you get a raise or bonus, direct a portion of it into your investments. Let your future benefit from your present discipline. Investing is not just about money, it's about freedom. Every rupee invested today is buying you time tomorrow. Time to rest, to explore, to retire early, or to handle life on your own terms. One of the biggest advantages of starting early is that you can afford to take more calculated risks. The longer your investment horizon, the more volatility you can endure. Because the market tends to smooth out over time, a young investor has the flexibility to ride through downturns without panic. With each year, your money has more time to recover and grow stronger. This is why early starters often outperform late starters. Even if the latecomers invest more money, time is the great multiplier. Investing also teaches you discipline and emotional control. Markets go up and down. News cycles create fear and greed. But successful investors learn to stay the course. They don't make decisions based on panic or excitement. They follow a plan, stick to their principles, and stay focused on their goals. This mental toughness is valuable not only in investing, but in every area of life. It teaches patience, long-term thinking, and the ability to trust a process. If you're overwhelmed by all the investment options, start simple. A low-cost index fund is often a smart choice for beginners. It gives you exposure to a broad range of companies, reduces risk through diversification, and has historically provided solid long-term returns. As you grow more confident, you can explore other options like dividend stocks, real estate, or business investments. The key is to start, stay consistent, and grow your knowledge over time. Also remember that investing is not only about money, it's about mindset. You are choosing to delay gratification today so you can have abundance tomorrow. You are choosing responsibility over impulse. You are acting like the future matters. That mindset alone sets you apart from the majority. While others spend everything they earn, you're quietly building your freedom. Protect your investments with good habits. Keep track of your accounts. Don't withdraw money for unnecessary reasons. Reinvest your dividends. Review your portfolio periodically, but don't obsess over it. Stay humble and open to learning. And most importantly, stay consistent. Success in investing doesn't come from brilliance, it comes from discipline over decades. Building wealth from zero is possible when you commit to investing early and regularly. It transforms time into your greatest ally. It allows your small beginnings to turn into something powerful. Every investment you make is a vote of confidence in your future. It says, I believe in what's possible. I believe in growth. I believe that small steps, taken consistently, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Keep planting those seeds. Water them with discipline, and watch as your wealth grows quietly, steadily, and powerfully because you chose to start early, stay consistent, and play the long game. Protect your wealth through insurance, education, and discipline. Building wealth from zero takes immense effort, sacrifice, and consistency. But keeping that wealth is an entirely different challenge. Too many people work hard to grow their income, create savings, and start investing, only to watch it disappear because they didn't know how to protect what they built. Wealth protection is just as important as wealth creation. Without the right safeguards in place, all your progress can be undone by a single emergency, poor decision, or lack of planning. That's why you must think beyond just earning and saving. You must learn to protect. Insurance is often ignored, especially by those who are just beginning their financial journey. It can feel like an unnecessary expense, especially when you're trying to make every rupee count. But the purpose of insurance is not to drain your money, it's to protect your future. It acts as a safety net against events that can wipe out your savings in an instant. Whether it's a medical emergency, an accident, a fire, or a natural disaster. The right insurance ensures that you don't have to start from zero again. Health. Insurance is one of the most important types of protection you should prioritize. Medical expenses can be unpredictable and extremely costly. A single hospital visit can destroy years of savings. If you don't have health insurance, you're putting your financial future at constant risk. Even a basic policy is better than nothing. Choose a plan that fits your budget but still offers sufficient coverage. It's better to pay a small premium every month than to face a mountain of debt later. Similarly, life insurance is essential if you have dependents or people who rely on your income. It's not just about you, it's about protecting those you care for. In the event of your unexpected passing, life insurance provides financial support for your family, helping them maintain stability while grieving. This is especially important if you're the primary earner. Term life insurance is usually affordable and provides substantial coverage without the complications of investment-linked policies. Other forms of insurance such as vehicle insurance, property insurance, or income protection insurance also play vital roles depending on your assets and lifestyle. The goal is to reduce your vulnerability. Emergencies don't wait until you're ready. They strike without warning. Insurance transforms an unpredictable financial disaster into a manageable situation. It's a tool of smart planning, not fear. Alongside insurance, education is a major pillar in wealth protection. Financial literacy protects you from bad investments, scams, poor money decisions, and impulsive behaviors. The more you understand how money works, how interest accumulates, how taxes impact you, how investments grow, and how inflation eats into your purchasing power, the smarter you'll become. With your financial decisions, education shields you from being manipulated, from making avoidable mistakes, and from blindly following others. Don't stop learning after you've started earning. Make financial education a lifelong habit. Read books on personal finance, listen to podcasts by experienced investors, watch videos from credible sources, understand the difference between assets and liabilities, between short-term gratification and long-term value, between emotional spending and intentional investing. The more you know, the harder it becomes for anyone or anything to shake your foundation. But knowledge alone is not enough. Discipline ties everything together. You can have insurance and financial knowledge, but without the discipline to stick to a budget, resist temptations, and stay consistent with your plan, your progress will be slow or easily reversed. Discipline is what makes you keep saving when it's boring. It's what keeps you investing even when the market dips. It's what stops you from making impulsive purchases that derail your goals. Discipline protects you from your own worst habits. It builds resilience in a world full of distractions and noise. Every day, you'll be tempted to spend, to upgrade, to chase things that feel urgent, but offer no real value. Discipline is saying no to those temptations, not because you're depriving yourself, but because you're committed to a bigger future. The discipline to live below your means, to save first, to invest regularly, and to learn constantly. That's what transforms income into wealth and wealth into freedom. Protecting your wealth also means building emergency funds. Insurance covers specific risks, but an emergency fund gives you flexibility and control during unexpected situations. Aim to save 3 to 6 months of basic expenses in a separate, easily accessible account. This fund isn't for vacations or luxuries. It's your financial armor, your buffer against job loss, health issues, or urgent family needs. Without an emergency fund, you may be forced to take on debt or sell investments at the worst time. Avoiding debt is another crucial part of protecting your wealth. Not all debt is bad, but high-interest consumer debt can destroy everything you've built. Credit card debt, payday loans, or unnecessary financing are financial traps that can quickly spiral out of control. Use debt wisely, and only when it serves a specific purpose that aligns with your long-term goals. If you already have debt, make a plan to pay it off aggressively. Debt may give temporary relief, but in the long run, it steals your peace. Another, often overlooked factor in wealth protection is your inner circle. The people you associate with influence your habits, decisions, and mindset. If you're constantly surrounded by spenders, show-offs, or financially reckless individuals, it becomes harder to stay focused. Protect your mindset by building a circle that values growth, discipline, and responsibility. Discuss ideas, not just expenses. Surround yourself with people who talk about investing, learning, building, and protecting, not just spending and upgrading. Building and protecting wealth is not about fear, it's about foresight. It's not about living in scarcity, it's about planning for security. When you protect what you earn, you create a solid base that allows you to build with confidence. You stop living in fear of the next crisis. You become more focused, more prepared, and more powerful. Your financial future is no longer at the mercy of outside forces. You've built a system that works even when life gets messy. Insurance, education, and discipline are not glamorous topics, but they are the invisible shields that allow wealth to grow quietly and steadily. They ensure that your sacrifices are not wasted, that your progress is not undone, and that your dreams are not derailed. Building wealth from zero requires energy. Yes, but keeping that wealth requires wisdom, and wisdom comes from protecting what you've worked so hard to earn. The game isn't just about how high you can climb, it's about how well you can hold your ground and keep moving forward. Develop a mindset of abundance, patience, and consistency. When you're starting from zero, your mindset is either your greatest asset or your greatest obstacle. Many people remain trapped in financial struggle not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because they are ruled by scarcity, impatience, and inconsistency. The way you think about money, the way you approach challenges, and the way you respond to setbacks all shape your financial future more than you realize. If you want to build lasting wealth, your thoughts must align with your actions, and your actions must align with long-term vision. An abundance mindset is the foundation. This mindset doesn't mean you ignore reality or pretend things are easy. It means you believe there is always a way forward. You believe there are enough opportunities, enough resources, and enough time for you to succeed. Even if your bank account says otherwise, you refuse to believe that wealth is only for the lucky or privileged. You understand that the world rewards value, and anyone who learns to create value can earn, save, invest, and grow wealth even if they start with nothing. A scarcity mindset, on the other hand, keeps you stuck. It makes you think there's not enough to go around, that someone else's success means your failure. It makes you fear taking small risks, hold on to every rupee, and avoid learning new skills. Scarcity mindset leads to hesitation, insecurity, and bitterness. You start blaming others for your situation instead of taking ownership. The path to wealth becomes clearer when you shift from fear to possibility, from I can't afford it to how can I create the ability to afford it. Patience is another crucial piece. Building wealth is not a quick process. It takes years of effort, often without immediate reward. Most people quit too soon, not because their plan didn't work, but because they didn't wait long enough. Impatience makes you chase shortcuts, gamble instead of invest, or switch directions every time things get tough. Wealth grows quietly, like a seed under the soil. You may not see results in the beginning, but if you stay consistent and protect what you've built, the results eventually appear. Patience also gives you emotional strength. There will be setbacks, delays, and disappointments. You might lose money, face criticism, or watch others succeed faster than you. But when you're patient, you don't panic. You know that temporary defeat is not permanent failure. You use each challenge as a lesson, not a reason to quit. You keep showing up, you keep saving, you keep learning, you keep moving. That resilience becomes your superpower, and over time, it compounds into financial and personal growth. Consistency is the bridge that connects your mindset to your results. Without consistency, even the best plans fail. Saving once won't make you wealthy. Investing once won't build a fortune. Reading one book won't give you wisdom. You must show up again and again, even when it's boring, even when no one is clapping for you, even when progress feels invisible. The most successful people didn't do one big thing, they did small, smart things over and over until the results exploded. Consistency builds momentum. The more you show up, the easier it gets. Habits begin to form. Decisions become automatic. Doubts start to fade. You stop thinking about giving up and start thinking about how to grow. Whether it's budgeting every month, learning a new skill for 30 minutes a day, reviewing your goals each week, or investing a fixed amount every payday. Each consistent action is a brick in the foundation of your future. To build this mindset, you must also guard your environment. What you feed your mind shapes your beliefs. If you're surrounded by negativity, by people who complain, blame, and mock ambition, your mindset weakens. Choose your circle wisely. Listen to people who encourage growth, responsibility, and vision. Read stories of people who started with less than you but created more. Follow those who teach you how to think, not just what to do. Your environment must support your transformation, not sabotage it. Gratitude also plays a role in abundance. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you become more open, creative, and willing to grow. Gratitude doesn't mean settling. It means recognizing your current blessings while striving for more. It keeps you grounded during your climb. It reminds you that wealth isn't just about money, it's about health, relationships, freedom, and peace of mind. One of the best ways to develop a mindset of abundance, patience, and consistency is to define your why. Why do you want to build wealth? What will it give you? Who will it impact? What future do you want to create? When your reasons are strong, your discipline becomes natural. You're not just saving, you're building a future for your family. You're not just learning a skill, you're breaking a cycle of struggle. You're not just investing, you're buying freedom. A strong why creates a deep fire, and that fire fuels persistence. Avoid comparing your journey to others. Social media and the world around you will often show only the highlights. You'll see luxury, success, and celebration, but rarely the hard work behind it. Stay focused on your path. Wealth is not a race. It's not about being the fastest, it's about being the most consistent. If you run at your pace and stay in your lane, you'll go farther than someone who sprints, burns out, and quits halfway. Also, be kind to yourself during the process. You will make mistakes. You will have off days. That's okay. Growth is messy. Just don't stop, reflect, adjust, and recommit. You're not aiming for perfection, you're aiming for progress. And every small win matters. Every smart choice compounds. Every time you show up for yourself, you're proving that your dreams are worth the effort. Building wealth from zero requires more than effort, it requires a mental shift. You must believe in possibility, trust the process, and stay the course. Abundance says you can create more. Patience says it takes time. Consistency says you must keep going. These three together form an unstoppable mindset, one that not only builds wealth, but builds the character to sustain it. Wealth without the right mindset is temporary, but with the right mindset, even zero becomes the starting point for something extraordinary. Practice generosity to maintain a healthy relationship with money. When building wealth from zero, it may seem counterintuitive to give while you're still trying to grow, save, and stabilize your own finances. But generosity is not just an act of giving, it's a powerful mindset and spiritual discipline that keeps your heart in the right place. It reminds you that money is a tool, not a master. It helps you avoid the trap of hoarding, fear, and selfishness, and instead invites gratitude, peace, and balance into your financial journey. Money, by itself, carries no meaning. It only becomes meaningful when used with purpose. Some people become so obsessed with building wealth that they lose sight of why they wanted it in the first place. They chase numbers but feel empty. They save and invest but feel anxious. They get rich but still act out of fear. Generosity breaks that cycle. It teaches you that abundance flows when you live with open hands, not clenched fists. It grounds you in purpose and reminds you that you are not building wealth just for yourself, but also to be a blessing in the lives of others. When you practice generosity, even in small ways, you build a mindset of sufficiency. You affirm to yourself that you have enough to share, that you're not lacking, and that your worth isn't measured by how much you hold back, but by how much good you do with what you have. Generosity sends a signal to your brain that there is more than enough. It weakens the fear-based thinking that says, I can't afford to give, or what if I lose everything, and replaces it with the truth that wealth is not just about accumulation, but circulation. You don't need millions to be generous. True generosity isn't about the size of the gift, it's about the spirit in which it's given. If you only have a little, give a little. If you can't give money, give time, energy, service, or kindness. Sometimes a few sincere words, a helping hand, or simply being present for someone matters more than money ever could. It's not about what you give, it's about who you become when you choose to give. Giving also teaches detachment. When you give something away intentionally, you're training yourself to let go of the unhealthy emotional grip money can have on your identity. You learn to control money rather than letting it control you. This is especially important when you're on the path of building wealth, because it ensures that money remains a servant, not a master. Detachment doesn't mean neglect, it means freedom. It means you can enjoy money, use money, grow money, but never become a prisoner to it. In moments of generosity, you may also experience a kind of spiritual alignment. Many faiths, traditions, and philosophies teach the importance of giving. It connects you to something greater than yourself. It builds empathy. It opens your eyes to the needs of others. And it reminds you that while you may be climbing, there are others who are still struggling. Giving from your own struggle doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you. It builds character, softens your heart, and aligns your values with your actions. Moreover, generosity often returns in unexpected ways. Not always directly or immediately, but over time. The habit of giving opens doors, builds relationships, and creates goodwill. People remember those who help. Communities grow stronger when members care for one another. Even in business, generosity creates a reputation of trust, authenticity, and care. When you treat clients, partners, or team members with generosity, it builds loyalty and respect that money alone cannot buy. As you build your wealth, set aside a portion for giving. It doesn't have to be a large amount, but it should be consistent. Whether it's 10% or 1%, decide to give from every income you earn. Doing this builds the habit early and reminds you that wealth is not the goal. Impact is budget for generosity, just like you budget for expenses or savings. Make it a non-negotiable. Over time, that portion will grow with your income, and so will your impact. Generosity also helps you manage envy and comparison. When you give to others, you stop obsessing over what others have. You begin to find joy in someone else's success or progress instead of resenting it. This mental shift keeps you focused on your own path and frees you from the toxic mindset that wealth is a competition. You stop counting what others have and start counting how much good you can do with what you have. At times, giving will be uncomfortable. You might feel a tug of hesitation. That's natural. But those moments are opportunities to grow. Ask yourself, is this fear or wisdom? Is this discomfort because I truly can't afford to give, or because I'm not used to letting go? Stretching beyond your comfort zone is where real growth happens. And sometimes, the best kind of giving is the one that challenges your limits, not irresponsibly, but intentionally, to expand your heart. Teaching yourself to give regularly also sets a powerful example for those around you. If you have children, family, or friends who watch how you handle money, your generosity becomes a lesson in values. It teaches them that wealth is about contribution, not just consumption. That lesson can outlast any amount of money you leave behind. It becomes a legacy of kindness, responsibility, and purpose. As you grow financially, generosity keeps you human. It prevents pride from creeping in. It reminds you of your journey and the people who may have helped you along the way. It humbles you in the best way, anchoring your success in gratitude rather than entitlement. The more you give, the more you realize that real wealth is not in what you keep, but in how many lives you touch along the way. Practicing generosity is not about charity alone, it's about creating a holistic, healthy relationship with money. It balances your drive to earn with your desire to serve. It turns wealth building into something soulful, not just mechanical. It protects your heart while you grow your bank account. It ensures that you never forget why you started in the first place. And most importantly, it teaches you that even from zero, you can be rich in spirit long before you're rich in numbers. Can finally give. Not just when you're rich, but even now. Generosity rewires your relationship with money. It removes fear and scarcity. It teaches you that money is a tool, not a god. Help where you can. Support others who are on the path. Money is only powerful when it flows. The more you bless others, the more you open yourself to be blessed. Building wealth from zero is not a dream, it's a decision. A choice to change, grow, learn, act, and persist. It won't happen overnight. But if you stay the course, it will happen. You will wake up one day and realize you're no longer worried about survival. You're building legacy, and it all started the day you decided to take control, no matter how little you had. That decision, made daily, is what separates the wealthy from the wishing.